Y'all, I just let out like a huge belch. It's a good thing that my mic was muted. Hi. Hello, greetings. Hi, Leo and Dame and Bow and Arrows and my alter ego and Pandy and Ms. Hot Mess and Color Story Nails. Hello, hello. Um, it probably won't be the last belch, just warning you. I do have a cider tonight and carbonated beverages. They're good. They're good. Now the cider is not quite as belch-inducing as my usual summer evening beverage, a Radler, but it's still very likely that that there's going to be burping, and I'm not shy about those. So you're okay. It's okay. You're used to watching Linry. Yeah, Linry and I have approximately equivalent manners. It's good. Oh shit! Something just fell down. Something fell down behind my laptop. Power strip thing. SpongeBob flavored burps. Ugh, I hope not. Damn, that sounds terrible. I don't think that I would want to. I would want to drink SpongeBob. Sounds really unpleasant. Yeah, no, it's apple cider with pineapple in it. It's called Pineapple Haze from Original Sin, which is a New York cidery, New York State cidery. Yeah, it is pineapple. It is a pineapple cider. Pineapple and apple. Pineapple apple. It's pineapple squared. Hello, Luna. You're not gonna apologize for leaving a burp in that makes you laugh every time? Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just warning people because if they're delicate, then they need to conduct themselves accordingly. That's all. Ray, hello, hello, welcome. My little stream buddy here got dressed up. He decided that he wanted to wear a heart dress. It's got little red glossy hearts on it. We considered a wig, but we could only find a green one, and didn't feel right. So, we did what we could. He really wanted to dress up a little bit tonight. So we're doing Dolly nails. Just a bunch of elegant, gassy ladies. Yeah. Listen, we're all just meat. And sometimes meat gets gas. Yeah, exactly. It had to be a blonde wig if there was going to be one. But we couldn't come up with a blonde wig in time. So this this felt more right. Ray is in charge of the brain cell. You're running on 4 hours of sleep. That's just a day ending in Y for me. You're a soda addict, but you rarely burp, so you're weirdly weird. I don't think that you're weird. I think that there's just a range. There's just a range of normal, and it's fine. It's completely fine. I, most of the time, am incapable of belching. Can't do it. To the extent that it causes me problems sometimes. But if I have something carbonated, then that's it. It's robust. You'll probably cry during stream again. Yeah. Yeah. I won't because I'm an unfeeling monster who doesn't have emotions, but I will be expressing myself in nail art. And I have a great deal of respect for Dolly. I think if you don't, then either you don't know enough about Dolly or you're just a fucking monster. So I don't see how anyone cannot respect that woman for so many reasons. Linry didn't have a live today. Oh, are you saying like you're sad because you were not able to enjoy a live stream from her today? Like you missed it? Not like you missed it because you weren't there, which is how I read that initially. When you first started your dating your now husband, he made you go to the doctor because of how much you burped. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely there's a range. Some people are very gassy. My mom's a farty bitch. She farts constantly. Like she's a farty woman. I grew up with that and you know, it changes you if you grow up with someone who's that gaseous all the time. Yeah, Dolly and Tim were both incredible artists. There's actually a third artist who was, I would argue, as important in her realm, although not so much of a household name, and the commonly known as the Dot Lady. I'm probably gonna mess up the pronunciation of her name, but Yayoi Kusama died very recently. It was just announced, I think, like late last night our time. But she died actually on the 14th, and she's been extremely active in the art world, mostly like minimal abstract, impressionist pop sort of flavors of art, known for doing just these enormous, incredible installation pieces where you step into like a whole other world. Really some fantastic stuff. But she was an absolutely groundbreaking artist, like for like decades. For decades, she's been active in the art scene since the 50s, really prolific and well-respected artist. So I pronounced it okay. I mean, I know it wasn't correct, but it's a Japanese name and I don't speak Japanese. So anyway, so she recently passed as well. And that one hit me really hard as well. As well as Tim and Dolly, but yeah. So we decided to do Dolly tonight. I may or may not do a stream thing. I'm probably going to do some kind of a Manny for the other two, but I don't know if I'll do them on stream or not. Yeah. I don't mean this to be in any way rude or offensive, and I absolutely everybody has the right to mourn anybody who dies. I personally don't cluster Hayden with Tim and Dolly, not because she's not, she was a good actress, like no shade to her at all. It's just there's a difference in like the scale of impact, and any person can have an impact individually in a big way on individual people. I know that Hayden impacted a number of people while she was acting as well, but she was very young, right? And not to diminish that loss, like truly not to diminish that loss. For me, I have a hard time sort of seeing that scale because of how, you know, how monumental the impact globally was for the others. You know, there's something for me. Yeah, tragic, also very tragic in a slightly different way. You know, in these other people, generations, like multiple generations, have lost their mentors and inspiration that they have grown up with, right? Like from boomers all the way up, as opposed to someone who was so young and so bright and had so much potential. It's a different kind of loss in my mind. I feel it differently. Yeah, so someone said Peter Cullen and you said nothing. I am not familiar with Peter Cullen's work. So I don't know the name Peter Cullen. So like I'm truly not telling you can't grieve her. Like that's stupid. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, and like I know there was like some drummer from a previous drummer from ZZ Top had died. Again, not someone that my world has intersected with at all, but I'm sure very influential. And given the age and how long ZZ Top were active, probably on a similar scale to Kusama in his own realm, right? Would be my guess. She had postpartum depression, but yeah, no, like I understand that. That's a separate kind of issue. But you're having mixed feelings on the spin PETA is trying to put on her last appearance in one of their campaigns. You had, because you had brothers and dated dudes into Autobots. That's funny. Yeah, I was not familiar with Peter Cullen at all. There's just been too many deaths. There's just been too damn many deaths. Anyway, so tonight we're focusing on Dolly. It is once again boiling fucking hot in here. Autobots, transform and roll out. I watched a little bit, not like super regularly because I didn't have regular access to a TV, but when I was a kid, like in the 80s, I did watch the Transformers show a little bit, the cartoon. That was a fun one for me. Anyway, so I had some sort of thoughts about what to do for Dolly's Manny. And there's a lot of, yeah, it is absolutely a rough week. Flood in Nepal, yeah. So I pulled out some inspo that I thought might be kind of nice to play with. Someone had suggested doing a coat of many colors pattern, and I think that would be nice. I grabbed an illustration, the cover of her children's book that she wrote from that name. Like it's called Coat of Many Colors. Let me bring up the picture here. That's the one. So this is, there's a couple of different covers with different illustrators, but this one looked a little older, so I don't know if this is the original cover or not. But that was one thing I had thought about doing on what maybe like I'm thinking might do like a skittle of different nail arts on different things. So Coat of Many Colors on one, and then I thought maybe we could do the Dollywood butterfly, because there's like this sign that has the butterfly just as like a solid 3D object, but there's another version. Where is it? Do I not have that other? Ah, there it is. Yeah. So this colored version is quite nice. I thought we could maybe do the colored version of the logo on one nail. And then maybe something inspired by the Imagination Library. Sort of like my thinking in this is like sort of riffing more on like impacts rather than aesthetics. Because while her aesthetic was like obviously a huge part of her, and it was very important to her that she be as loud and gregarious in her outward appearance as she was in her inner person. She very carefully cultivated her image to be that way. It's not the part of her that I really felt connected to personally, and so I like the idea for me of focusing more on her legacy. And so yeah, that you always associated rhinestones with her as a kid. Yeah, for sure. That is not wrong, and I definitely pulled a bunch of sparkly toppers. Because I don't think you can do a Dolly manicure without having at least some sparkly toppers, for sure. And one of the things I did pull was a picture of one of her sparkly guitars. So, I think it could be fun to do a nail that is inspired by one of her sparkly guitars. So, a few different sort of options. I pulled, so for sparkly shit, I pulled Hollow Taco Shooting Star Taco. Hang on, let me just, I got Shooting Star Taco. I grabbed Garden Party Taco. I grabbed both Flaky and Scattered Hollow Taco. And Gold Flake Taco. And then I also grabbed Say It Out Loud, which is I think reflective and hollow. This one was a PR. I think that's the only one I pulled that I got in PR. And this is Plus Life Lacquer's The Safe Word is Hollow, which has, like, most of these are, like, one or two kinds of glitters. This one has, like, a huge mix. There's, like, hexes and stars and squares and, I don't know, all kinds of shit in there. So, she funded a COVID vaccine during the heart of the during the height of the pandemic. It was her... it was her donation that really made a huge difference to the speed with which Monsanto was able to come out with their COVID vaccine, and she very publicly was vaccinated at a point when people were obviously trepidatious about it. Yeah. The literacy stuff is really so incredibly important, and she did so much with that. But she also, like, there's a whole children's hospital named for her because she just poured so much money into children's healthcare as well in her area. So yeah. Her dedication to literacy for kids is amazing. It's your favorite thing for real. Oh, or do you mean the Garden Party Taco is half used and that's your favorite thing for real? I don't know if I think I've only used it like once for a couple of nails. You were a frontline worker during that time, not medical. The vaccine becoming available was such a relief. Yeah. I mean, I was thankfully not working in a public facing job. But yeah. Yeah, didn't she ended up giving something like between her personal donations and her like foundation donations, she ended up giving like $10,000 per family or something to those families that were affected by that hurricane. Like it's incredible. She would have been a billionaire like multiple times over, but she just kept donating so much money throughout her entire career. She's one of the highest selling musical artists of all time, right? Oh, I forgot to switch over to all messages. Yeah, could have been a billionaire, chose not to be. Yep. Really, really says a lot. Given how many people are using that kind of money to hurt others these days, rather than and enrich themselves even more, rather than to help. So I'm thinking. I'm not sure where to put my cider. I'll put that over there, I guess. Maybe we do. I also pulled her autograph. Oh, the other thing that she did as well, that I didn't know about until just the last day or so, was that she donated like a shitload of money to like various different black community charities, like from the money that she got from Whitney Houston's like royalties for her song, right? So all the money she got for royalties for that, she donated it all into black communities in need, which is fucking wild. So good. So good. Also, she had the cutest laugh. Yeah, totally infectious laugh. Totally infectious laugh. Dolly was a secret producer for Buffy? That's so funny. Right. The other thing that I grabbed was the, hang on, let me find, is it this one? Yeah. So I grabbed her signature as well. I don't know if we maybe want to do that like just in pure fucking unmitigated glitter or something on like a black background. Oh yeah, the watching her play guitar with those long nails is wild. I briefly considered actually doing my mani on fake nails just so that I could have more length because my nails are short, and it kind of felt like a thing that you'd want to do to like, you know, wear fake nails specifically for her. But I know that I would be very annoyed with them very quickly, and I don't know if I want to do that. But yeah, I saw a video a while back of someone breaking down her playing style and basically being like, she doesn't play any of it right when she's playing with the long nails, but it doesn't matter because she's like, she manages to just like gloss over the unimportant parts really effectively. She does modified chords for a whole lot of stuff and just lets her voice carry it. And it totally fucking works. And it's genius. Like, it's total genius. Because she should not be able to play with the fake nails as well as she does. And in fact, she can't play as well with the fake nails. She's just developed a really effective modification system. So it's remarkable. Yeah, it sounds amazing. it sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, yeah. Finding the town tramp to be beautiful and modeling your look after that, and like her like comments about it costs a lot of money to look this trashy or look this cheap or whatever it was. So funny. Very very funny. Very cool woman. Yeah, and there's that wonderful interview where like she's with is it with Patti LaBelle? I think it's with Patti LaBelle, and they're like playing their nails together. I can't remember what song they ended up doing. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah. So I'm thinking maybe like we do the signature over like I don't know. We could do like black, or we could do like a hot pink background, and just do the signature in glitter, just pure glitter over a hot like a hot pink or something. What do y'all think about that for the thumbnail? Yeah, she's totally brilliant. Totally brilliant. And then one nail, definitely the coat of many colors pattern. One nail doing like the guitar pattern. Maybe one nail that's like, oh, I could span two nails where I have like the open book with the train. I can have the caboose on one side and the engine on the other. Yeah, her favorite colors were yellow and white. I know that. I don't think it would work as well for the Dolly thing. Um, Otherwise, like I would totally do glitter on yellow or something, but it wouldn't like the contrast wouldn't be good. Um, but high violet. um, but yeah, I think we can lean into the yellow and white for a lot of the other stuff, and that would be fun. Um, could either split the book thing on two, or we could do one nail that has the butterfly, and one nail that has just like either books or the train or something. Yeah, she did a lot of colorful nails. Um, there wasn't just like one. She definitely did like red and hot pink, and she had like fancy stuff. I remember her having like white crystally kind of nails with bling on them at various points. So, okay, I did not grab a hot pink. I don't know what I was thinking. I We're gonna grab a hot pink. I'll do my thumbnail with that. Butterfly fly across the nails like a swoosh. I think it would only work to do the butterfly on one nail. Like, I don't think I would have enough room. It would be like messy to have it overlaying all the other stuff. She said white made her feel light and airy, and yellow made her feel happy. Yeah, so that's a thing, bow and arrows. I kind of feel like Dolly was one of those incredibly rare actual Christians. And I know that she was a very she was Christian as far as I'm aware, as far as everything I've ever read. And I know that she, talked about spirituality and her connection to God being very important to her. But it's funny because like there are so few people I can think of in my life who have spent a lot of time thinking and talking about God, who actually live by the rules that are, and the spirit set out by the religion they're supposedly following. She's maybe one of the only true Christians, which is interesting. You mean like the trail of shimmery sparkly topper? Yeah, I still think that would be too messy going across multiple nails. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can do that going across multiple nails and have it work right with the background that I'm thinking about. You can think of one other person who lived and gave like Dolly and followed the faith. She died last year. Yeah. Yep. Always a woman. Hello, hello. Yanelli, welcome. It is a nice pank, isn't it? Actually, this is the only one. This is the only one that I've pulled for. No, this is one of only two that I pulled for tonight. That's a PR one. So this one was PR from BCB, and the one I mentioned when I pulled it out earlier, this one was PR from Prism Parade. Everything else that I pulled for tonight is not. So I think so we got this one that's going to have the name on it. We're going to have one that's one that's the coat. At least one that is the books. Maybe I'll do like a stack of books rather than doing the direct inspiration from the logo. What cider am I drinking? It is Original Sin Pineapple Haze. It's from a New York State cidery. Yep. I agree, bow and arrows. Is this a Crelly or a creme? It's definitely, I would call it a Crelly. I'm not sure if Brittany calls it a Crelly or a creme. I think pretty much all of her cremes are actually Crelly-ish, if not Crelly. Oh, you've had Original Sin. So normally the Original Sin one that I like the most is the one with the spider on it. We call it Spider Cider. I forget what it's actually called. Black Widow? Is it called Black Widow? Yeah, it's the same brand, but they do one that's like blackberry and black cherry, I think, and apple. And it has a picture of a Black Widow spider on the front of it, or not a picture, but like an illustration. And that's normally my go-to from Original Sin Cidery. But I really, they came out with this one. I think this is the first year that we've seen the pineapple haze. I don't know if it's new or if it just started getting sold in our local place, but Black Widow, you've had that? Yeah. You got to say Spider Cider, yeah. So Spider Cider, actually, for me, the thing that I always think of, Leo, when I think of Spider Cider is this absolutely atrocious song that I learned in grade 4 or 5. I was going to a school where we had like, at that point in time, there was like a mixed grade thing going on, where they blended 2 grades together. And so I had the same pair of teachers for 2 years in a row, and they were both super into music, and they had all this music that was like, classic, like the music was from various different classics. Some of the lyrics would have been pulled from them, but the lyrics were altered to be like about Halloween or about Christmas or about whatever. And there was one that there was like, there is a haunted house in the town where all the walls are crumbling down. Anyway, there's a line in it about oh, the bats and cats and witches keep the skeletons in stitches as they sip their spider cider in the haunted house. And this just lives rent-free in my head, along with just a plethora of awful, awful songs. So whenever I think of the spider cider, I always think of that, and it's really bad. Okay. This is going to be the coat of many colors nails. I just want a paler but non-white base for it so that all the colors pop nicely. You have Ace cider there. You love that stuff. They have an apple, pineapple, and guava. Haven't tried Ace cider. I've not been a huge fan of Austin East cider's ones that I have tried, but I don't like them. On average, I prefer them a little less dry. You hated those blended classes? Yeah. Never tried Blake's. Oh, do you live in a dry county or something, Sonia? Do they have dry counties there? I know they do in many of the southern states. Okay. So that's going to be the coat of many colors nails. That's a signature nail. I want to do the butterfly, I think, on this one. So maybe we'll do a stack of books here. And the guitar pattern here. So I'm not sure what I want to do for the stack of books background. Give me your suggestions for the stack of books background. And I'm also thinking maybe I should have grabbed... oh my god, wait, what if I used... Shit, what's the Holo Taco that's like an actual, just like full coverage silver hollow glitter? What's that one? Someone help me out. What's it called? Circuit breaker? Something like that? Yellow for the stack of books background? That's a good idea since you love yellow so much. Let's do that. You don't have dry county, but certain alcohols can't be sold in the same store. I see. So beer and cider are sold in a different store than wine and hard liquors. Rainbow Snow! That's the one I was thinking of. Thank you. Okay. I feel like Rainbow Snow might be a good background for the butterfly nail. What do y'all think? Circuit breaker is the linear. Got it. You're a fake Holo Taco fan? Yes, Rainbow Snow for the butterfly nail. Okay. Let me go get that. I'm sorry I don't have a cat on cam tonight for you. Jammy is being a butt dodgers. Where is... That's gift receipt. Hello? Rainbow Snow. There you are. Okay. I found it. I only have like the first couple of years of Holo Taco stuff for the most part, and then like a couple from later on. And I'm not good at remembering names of anything, so. Oh, she needs she needs some thinner, y'all. Liquor stores are closed on Sundays. Yeah, it was like that. They used to be much more strict in Ontario when I was younger. Things have really loosened up a lot. It used to be the case that you could only buy any kind of alcohol. Like, there was nothing that you could buy outside of one of two stores. You had to go either to the Liquor Control Board of Ontario stores, which sold basically everything but beer. Or the beer store, which sold just beer, like beer and I guess cider, but stuff below a certain alcohol percentage. And I don't think they sold wine. Wine was at the LCBO store, or as my husband likes to call it, the Lickbo. And at some point over the last number of years, so a while, like first it started with grocery stores started being able to sell wine. And then also they opened it up to beer as well. And then like they also started doing like if you were a winery, then you could have like a separate, they could have like a store on premises where people could buy stuff. And then they just kept like sort of widening it. And now like it's still nowhere near the way it is, or the way it was at least, I assume still is in like, for instance, New York State, where, I mean, when I was a kid, I remember going to New York State and just being able to get coolers at the corner store, which is insane. LCBO sold beer. Yeah, they may have sold beer back when I was a kid. I wouldn't remember that. Like, that's like 40 plus years ago, and I didn't drink, so. LCBO has sold beer for many, many years, though, for sure. That I know. It used to be, I do really clearly remember that the LCBO, at least the ones that I went to, never had the big, like Molson and things like that. They only had imports and fancy beer. In Quebec, White Claw in the grocery store is not even the same as the provincial store. Interesting. Grocery stores can only sell cooking wine where you are. You don't think you can even buy alcohol-free beer at a grocery store? Yeah, they started doing that in Ontario. I don't know, what was that, like 20 years ago or something? 15, 20 years ago they started allowing it. But it like only in one little area, and you had to go to, there was like one or two specific cash registers you had to go to if you were getting alcohol. Yeah, see, Ray, my parents basically only drank beer when I was a kid, and so we always just went to the beer store. Yeah, Belly, that's the way it is in a lot of the US states. Especially like at least the Northeast, you basically like a lot of the corner stores and grocery stores and stuff have things like that. But it sort of depends. Here in Maryland, they are still separate, although I think they've started to like allow some alcohol sales in some grocery stores under certain circumstances, but it's definitely not widespread here. All right, we'll get a second coat here. I think we're just going to do 2 coats, maybe. And then do the glitter signature over top of that. Oh yeah, my mom she switched to wine a little later on, and then she and my dad got into making wine and beer as well. West Coast too, Sanyo? I'm just not as familiar with West Coast stuff, so I don't know. You can buy alcohol at petrol stations. Yeah. I always think that's really funny. Places where you can buy gas, you can gas up your car and also buy alcohol. Like, it seems like maybe they should have thought that through. I don't know. These two things don't go together in my mind. Call me crazy. Yeah, it was because of prohibition. That's a good question. Did the UK ever have the prohibition nonsense? Was that a thing? You love the sun and you hate the cold? Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't like the UK. Although, lately, in the summertime, yeah, the idea of drive-through liquor stores is absolutely wild to me. I even like drive-through stores in general is a little bit weird to me. Like I kind of get it for fast food cuz, you know, if you're like on the highway or something, you just need to grab something quick. I kind of get it, but like drive-through banks, like what the fuck are you doing? What what is happening? Why does America have drive-through banks? It's crazy. What? Why do you need to get your money out of the bank or deposit it that fast that you can't just like park and get out of your car? Like I'm sure it's great for, you know, accessibility reasons if you have accessibility needs. I understand. But like there's such a culture here of just not wanting to walk 3 feet if you don't absolutely have to. If there's any way you can avoid walking more than 2 steps, you gotta avoid walking more than 2 steps. It's such a weird concept to me. Like even when it's slower to wait for the drive-through, people will wait for the drive-through just so that they don't have to park and get out and walk. Yeah, Leo. For checks. I only have seen this in Texas. The height of the console only works if you drive a truck. So you practically have to get out of the car to reach it anyway. That's amazing. All right, another coat of this glitter shit. It's still not properly thinned out, I have to say. But it'll do. Yeah, you can't walk down the street drinking alcohol here. Not obviously anyway. You can like walk down the street with alcohol if nobody can tell by looking at you that you're drinking alcohol. But you can put it in like a paper bag or something or a thermos or whatever. Your bank closest to you is only drive-through? That's crazy. Wait. Passengers in cars in the UK can drink alcohol as long as the driver is sober? That's amazing. It's fucking. You know what? The UK has got some ideas. Okay, let's get on this coat of many colors nail. Because that is one that only needed one coat. I am going to pull up my inspo for this, even though I don't think I like super need it. So it is this one. Like, I don't think we're going to like follow it really closely or anything, but just to have it where we can sort of see the vibes. I want to get the vibes. I've only been to the UK once, only London, and not for very long. So I thought it was fine. No offense. It was fine. It just, the problem is, and I think the problem is that I went to London and I hadn't, like, London wasn't really my choice. And like, no shade to London. I'm sure it's a lovely place. But if you're only going to be somewhere for a few days, and you're from a major city, going to a major city where the language is the same but with a different accent, the architecture is what the architecture back home is based on. The culture is what the culture back home is based on. And you're just in the city. It's kind of just like, it's kind of just the same as being at home. It's just kind of like, I mean, it was nice. It was nice. We walked by Buckingham Palace, sort of did the perimeter. It was fine. It was fine. Yeah, see, I think if I'd been able to, like, go out of the city and, enjoy the countryside, I probably would have had a much better time. But, of course, we were doing what my husband wanted to do, my ex-husband. And so, you hate London, throw all the shade. It's the same thing, like, when we went on the same trip, we also went to Paris. And, like, Paris is, like, the part of France that I'm, like, least interested in visiting, Like, it's just, it was lovely. There were lots of beautiful things and some great food, great architecture. But it wasn't, a city is a city is a city, in a way. Unless the culture is truly wildly different, a city is a city is a city. And so I was just like, eh. The only thing you really remember about London was the palace and seeing Phantom of the Opera. What I really enjoyed in London was going to the park and seeing all the birds. And there were magpies. And lovely swans. There's a big pond with a park, and I forget what the hell the name of the park is, but it's famous. It's one of the famous parks. Yeah, being surrounded by Sherwood Forest. I want to visit that England, That's the England I want to go see. Like, I want to go to Scotland. I don't care about going to Glasgow or whatever. I want to go hiking. And, like, visit maybe visit a few distilleries, but mostly I want to hike, and fucking freeze my ass off. That's what I want to do. I want to be on a cliff looking over the ocean, freezing my ass off in the fog. That's what I want to do in Scotland. Anywhere I go, I'm much more interested in seeing small towns and rural areas and wild spaces and spaces that are less touristy and less human-y. You hiked the peaks in the UK. It was amazing. You got lost and it was cloudy and cold. See, that's amazing. That sounds lovely. The Shetland Islands are lovely and you saw the doggies. That sounds nice. Y'all did way better things than me there. I'll tell you that. But it's because I was fucking traveling with my ex. he wanted to see all the stuff that you're supposed to see when you go to the place. You know the stuff. Oh, you can't go to this place without seeing this thing. Yeah, I fucking can. Watch me. Watch me. I'll do it. I'm going to add some patterns, I think, to some of these. After we get the main color blocks in. I will say, I'll give Paris this. I did have the best apple galette of my life. So, you know, it's got that going for it. Yeah, culture and food is great, but I want to see the land. You love all the art galleries in Paris. We walked around the Louvre and did not go inside because I was like, I don't want to. It's way too people-y in there. I don't want to go in there. It was entirely too people-y. So yeah, I basically refused. Just I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. You can't make me. But the grounds were fantastic. Really enjoyed walking around the grounds of the Louvre. It was lovely. They have, the sculpture gardens and such there. You did other art galleries instead of the Louvre? They have a lot of like small galleries that I might have been more interested in seeing. But yeah. D'Orsay is much cooler, yeah. You went to a small little seaside town in the UK to visit a Polish friend and it was really nice. See, that sounds lovely. You refused to go into the British Museum? Good for you, fucking thieves. I'm laughing, but I'm not joking. Okay, let's go down here. Do some light blue. We saw horsies and went to the parks. Okay. I did go to Notre Dame, and that fucking place did things to me. That place did things to me. Notre Dame physically affected me in a very intense way. I sobbed. I was fucking crying. Naturally, my ex-husband took the opportunity to laugh at me and record me. Because he was a lovely and respectful man in that regard. But yeah, I was crying like a fucking baby in that place. Like, it was just such an intense physical experience being in there. Yeah, no, that part's not a joke, Belly. That's absolutely not a joke. You're like, the Brits aren't the only people who did that, but boy, they really did that. They sure did dedicate themselves to doing that. We went to an old church near the bridge in London with World War II leftover melting from the bombings, and that was interesting. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, seeing the Milky Way in the Grand Canyon, I can definitely see that having the same kind of impact. That's the type of experience that has otherwise in my life. I haven't been to the Grand Canyon, but experiences like that in nature have been the other times in my life that I have had that kind of response. And I think Notre Dame was the first time that a building did that to me, to that, like with that intensity. Y'all stole spices and didn't even use them for your food. It's so real. So real. If you're gonna steal shit, at least use it. I mean, to be fair, they did do some stuff with the Indian spices. They just limited it only to the Indian food and then made stuff that was pretend Indian food and like still eat that mostly instead of the real Indian food. But some of that shit is spicy. Gotta give them that. They just neglected to add it to any of the other food. I don't know what the deal is with that. I believe a storm has begun. Grand Canyon is so beautiful it looks fake. I have not been, and I desperately want to. Yeah, they traded the spices like Pokemon cards. Yup. They sure did. Sorry, I'm having some focus issues here. My camera really likes to focus on my palette instead of my nails. I love that. Makes me very happy. You had some heavy storms here today. I knew that we were supposed to have some storming. I wasn't sure when it was supposed to happen, but it does seem to have started now. I actually feel like this yellow might be slightly intense for this part, so let me grab banana hacks. We'll do a little mixa. They were originally using the spices, but once it became cheap enough, the non-nobles could afford it. The nobles stopped using them, and then the poorer people followed suit. Of course. Of course. Of course. Too funny. Your eyes can't comprehend the Grand Canyon or the Colorado River at the bottom. Yeah, that makes sense. Cried when you saw Mount Fuji. I can totally see that. I probably would as well. Yeah, someday I would love to be able to travel to some of these places. It's a little challenging at the moment, but maybe eventually we'll get to do that. Okay, I think I want another little small yellow block over here. There we go. And then I think we'll do like a orange, maybe. So the Milky Way at the Big Bend National Park, yeah. Another place I really want to go. Someday. Are you gonna, maybe I can just take some of that. All right, will that work to give me a orange? You're gonna be a little too pinky, aren't you? Yeah, you are. You have a proper spice grinder. You accidentally nuked his face with your cooking so many times. He's now fully on board with spice. That's very funny. Brian is very much a hot spice enjoyer, more than I am. I like it, but my stomach can't manage it anymore. But not just spice, though. He also just enjoys really flavorful stuff, and basically all flavors. Like, he's so easy, which is really nice. Because basically anything I try cooking, he's like, yeah, this is good. Only if it's good. Like, he doesn't have no taste. I'm not saying that he thinks everything is good, even if it's sucky. I'm saying that he has very broad tastes, which is a good thing. I have managed to introduce him to a bunch of various and sundry food types that he had not had before we got together. And thankfully, he enjoys them. Do a little more of this orange over here. I am getting a little thick. I think it worked out all right. Yeah, seeing the Milky Way in the Amazon must be incredible. Yeah, Dame, that spicy stuff seems like it would be a bad notion for you. If your digestive tract is not happy with spicy stuff, you should absolutely avoid it. Yeah, he is easy. It's true. Just a little thick. Oh my god, it's 27 degrees Celsius in here. That's hot. It's hot in here. I'm sweating balls. Not enjoying it. Okay. Get some more blue. What other colors do we want here? Maybe we'll keep one of them the background color and do a pattern on it. And then maybe do another dark blue. Let's do another light green over here. Yeah. Being able to see the stars is such a fucking privilege these days. Truly. Like, we do not have dark skies, but I still really appreciate how much darker they are than in Toronto, where you can't see shit. Because it's incredibly bright all the time. Alright, so we'll do that green. We'll leave that one. And we'll do a pattern over top of that. Background of the books. Do we want a topper? Maybe I should just put a topper around the books rather than under them. Because then we can use maybe one of the star topper or something like that. Something a little more larger glitters, and it won't cause a problem. I'm going to move on from the patchwork nail for the moment. Let it dry a little bit. And I will start the base for the stack of books. I'm going to pull up reference for a stack of books. I just feel like this is going to work better if I have a reference of some sort. I know what a stack of books looks like, but I think we'll do something like this one. All right, let's put that into preview. And change this over. Is that the right one? Apparently not. How about this one? There we go. All right, that's going to be our inspo. You saw a sloth. Cute. Being up in the White Mountains in the middle of a campground that has no electricity and seeing the Milky Way over a pond is beyond awe-inspiring. Yeah, I want that. I really want that experience at some point in time. I'm going to make the perspective, I think, a little less aggressive in my version of this. Just because I feel like it's a little much. It's a little more than it needs to be. Are you a hare? Yes. God damn it. There was 2 hares. I had one already. I added a second one by accident. There's still a hare on there. Oh well. Fuck it. Do like a thicker one here that's like at a different angle. And then some bro on YouTube was like, East Coast can't compare to West Coast. And I was like, fuck you, dude. They're both amazing in their own ways. Yeah, I mean, it seems a little weird, but they are just different. You can have preferences. You're absolutely allowed to have preferences. I would say that, you know, there are definitely differences. But it doesn't mean that one is like better or more important than the other. They're different. I also feel like a lot of the time when people are comparing things like that, they're often comparing things that are very different from each other, like and trying to make direct comparisons between them. Like you can't, you know, you can't reasonably compare, say, you know, Boston to the, you know, deep forest mountains in the like the Rocky Mountains or something. Like you can't. That's a stupid comparison to make. Right? Like you can't do that. That's dumb, but people do. So 2 hares are better than 1. You are also painting and losing the battle to hair. You're glad your husband will now eat stuff like that. You have a feeding tube and can only eat tiny amounts, so refuse to waste your limited food intake on boring, bland food. Yeah, that would be very annoying. Should have chopped up the venison more. Was it a little tough? Venison can be like that. All right, let's do orange book on the bottom. You prefer mountains, but lakes are also very special. You just don't think they're as special to you because you've lived next to them all your life. Yeah. I definitely understand that. For me, actually, the lakes are incredibly special to me because I have lived next to them all my life. But I understand having, sort of the opposite response. To me, lakes, small bodies of water, or, smaller than the ocean bodies of water, feel like peace and home and grounding in a way that nothing else in my life ever has. And that is incredibly special to me, which is different from being like awe-inspiring, right? Like, yeah, lakes aren't awe-inspiring to me. They're home. They're just as beautiful. They're just as stunning and important. But they're home, so they vibe different for me. But also, like, the lakes aren't the east, like that's, especially when you're talking like, well, even in the U.S., like the East Coast is not like the Great Lakes. That's not the East Coast. You're still basically in the middle of the fucking country. Like, I know we often refer to, in Canada, we often refer to like Ontario as being, or at least Eastern Ontario as being like the East Coast. And it's like, there's a bunch more provinces and so much more land. Like, you're barely halfway across the country. Stop it. It's not the East. You made it to the middle. Good job. Keep going. There's so much more. All right. Get these guys. I need more thinner here. You're the weirdo who loves swamps and wetlands? Yeah, I mean, I literally live in a swamp right now. So I am surrounded by wetlands. Not a big fan of the mosquitoes, to be honest. But other than that, I really love it. One of my favorite things is in the very, very, very early spring. Well, there's often still snow. Super early spring. One of the very first things to come up here is the skunk cabbage. The skunk cabbage is strictly a wetlands thing. You will only find them in swampy areas. And they're not like super pretty. They do have a neat looking flower. But for some reason I have a soft spot for the damn things. I just love them. They make me happy. I hear they smell bad, but I think you have to get up real close to them to smell them, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I haven't been to the Maritimes either yet, Ray. And I really want to. Dwarf palmetto. Interesting. The dwarf only grows in the wetlands. That's cool. One of the other really nice things, of course, with wetlands areas is that you get wetlands animals, right? So we have like little like river otters, and we have all kinds of like herons and things like that. That are hunting in our waterways. That's always very special to be able to see that sort of thing. Makes me happy. And beavers. We got beavers. I love beavers. They're so goofy. Yay, old folks home. Down here we got gators. Yeah, that's a little less... I mean, really cool, but like... also maybe somewhat concerning. You're moving your dad in a couple of weeks? That's rough. So you're having... He's currently in a home and you're having issues with that place? Oh yeah, so many frogs when it rains. So many. Unending frogs. Makes me very happy. Hi, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. Popping in while you're working. You'll be able to see the finished one when you're done work. You have a large family of tree frogs that lives outside your house. Yeah, we have at least one species of tree frog that lives around here. They're gray tree frogs. They're very cute. They're exceedingly cute. You don't see them super frequently. We hear them a lot, but we don't see them a lot. It always feels really special when I do see them. They are quite shy. All right. There's a second book. Now, I don't want to do another orangey red book right away. I think I might do a blue book next. I really love the frogs around here. They always make me very happy. He's been there for 2 years. You're moving him to a place with better workers to residents ratio. Good. I hope that helps. I hope that works out better for him. It's so hard finding a place that has like really good care. And I understand that like a lot of these places, they're a lot of the time the workers really care and really try hard, but they're just understaffed because the powers that be are trying to fucking maximize profits. It can be really difficult, especially if you aren't able to sort of be there really frequently to keep an eye on things. Okay, do a blue one next. All right. And then I think, what are we going to do for the next one? Maybe like a real light color, like a pale green. You love stoats and weasels? Yeah, all of the, what is that family called? Mustelids. They're all good. All of the mustelids are good. Maybe a light blue next. Let's do a light blue next. What the heck? Pine martens are cool too, but habitat losses push them mostly to Scotland. Well, I guess bully for the Scots, but that kind of sucks. Sucks for the pine martens. Car orb weaver has moved. She's no longer hiding in the same corner. She may have reached the end of her days. They don't live forever, although usually they'll stick around a little longer than this. Did you ever see an egg sac? Because I would definitely expect to be seeing egg sacs. Maybe she decided to leave the car because she wanted to lay her eggs elsewhere. She may have located a better option for egg laying. One that doesn't move around constantly. Well, hopefully she is living her best spider life somewhere. Outside of the car that you move daily probably isn't an idea, yeah. You did eventually find your bathroom orb weaver dead in your nightstand drawer. Aw. Well, unfortunately, that does happen. They die of all kinds of things, these tiny critters. And they don't live a super long time to begin with. All right. Let's do another orangey one, I think. Or like a... Yeah, we'll do a lighter orange, I think. Something a little bit less saturated. Maybe mix in a little bit of brown with it. Actually, I'm going to mix in a bit of chai and see what happens. It is 9:30. You should eat. Yes, you should. If you have not. Eating is good for you, it turns out. I don't know if y'all knew this. Breaking news. You're made of meat. You require nutrients in the form of food. All right. How do I feel about this color? Is this going to contrast enough? Does it need to be darker? I feel like it might need to be darker to contrast with the yellow background. I'm going to darken it up a little bit. What a concept, yeah. Propaganda. I will eat after stream. I did have a bowl of cereal, like, I don't know, hour and a half or 2 hours before stream, so I am good for the moment. I'm a little bit sad that we're all out of the shakshuka leftovers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Cat hair. Yeah, we finished off the shakshuka leftovers last night. And now I'm like, but now there's no more shakshuka. It's so sad. Shakshuka good. Okay. And then the tippity top one. Let's go with a brighter green. Can I explain that to your digestive system? Listen, Belly, your digestive system is on a whole other level. Ain't nobody explaining nothing to that thing. Feed the meat sack. Have y'all seen the short film that may or may not be called "They're Made of Meat"? It's probably not called that. But if you don't automatically know what I'm talking about when I say that, then you need to probably just look up the words short film, they're made of meat. It's not very long. It is absolutely fucking majestic. And you need to watch it if you have not. And I'm not going to spoil anything about it. Please just watch it. Maybe wait until after stream. I don't know. Up to you. You can always pause stream, go watch that, and then come catch up at 2x speed if you want. I won't tell anyone. It's fine. As long as you come back. What's that, Jammy Dodgers? She started snoring quite loudly behind me. But then she stopped immediately. Oh, there she goes. Oh, I did a bad job there. You haven't thought about that in years, Wendidamus? I'm so glad that I'm not the only one that knows this. Your husband had the audacity to take the chicken salad to work like you suggested. How dare he? How dare he? Is it gross? No, it's, I will spoil enough to tell you that it is just a conversation taking place in a very normal environment. There is nothing visually disgusting. There is nothing explicit said. It's fine. It shouldn't cause anybody any problems. Someone put it in the Discord later, yes. Thank you, Joe. Hello. Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. It has to be. Yeah, she's being a butt Dodgers, Sassy. Did you hear the people snore? The Jammy Dodgers people snore? She totally does snore like a human. It's really fucked up. I don't know what her deal is. You think you've waited long enough for chocolate pie time? I 100% agree. Any amount of time that you have waited for chocolate pie time is enough time. If all you did was be like, ooh, chocolate pie, you know what? I should wait. Okay, now I'm ready. That was enough time to wait. It was enough time to wait. You did it. Okay. Man, chocolate pie is so fucking good. I haven't had any in a really long time. Like years and years and years. I'm going to put just a little shadow on the books just to give them a little bit of dimension here. I'm probably going to fuck it up. Feel like I already did. That's okay. I can go over it again. What I should really do is do it like that, a little darker, right underneath that part, and then go back in with just the white. That's probably a better idea. Or maybe not. I guess we'll find out. These darker ones don't need as much. This could be like a terrible idea. I could be totally ruining it, but we'll find out. Okay. You just noticed my skeleton? He's my stream buddy. He's always there. Sometimes he is more dressed up than others. Today he wanted to wear a dress for Dolly. All right. Yeah. don't know if I made it better or worse, but I did something. I sure did do something. I'm going to take a little bit of this and take just the thinner, like super thin it down, and then see if I can get like a little shadow in some spots here. I'm just trying to add a little more dimension, you know what I mean? I just want to give it a little something something. So it's not quite so flat looking. There. I think that's better. I think I actually improved it slightly. Does he have a name? He's the stream skeleton. I don't know. I don't think he has a name. He doesn't. Not everybody needs a name. You posted a link for their Made of Meat in stream business on my Discord. For those interested, thank you, Belly. And good time to remind everyone, if you are not already in my Discord, there's a link down in the description. Okay, next let's move on to the you know, guitar is the name of that thing. Which this one is here. And just shrinky that and do that, and then do this. So y'all can kind of see the, I don't really know what this design is supposed to be, if anything, but you got food. Excellent. So I think for this nail, we're going to use Rainbow Snow again. And just do some random ziggy-zaggies. Guitar, as we say in the South. Guitar. Yeah. You'll be shocked and dismayed to know that we do not refer to it as a guitar in Canada. At least not usually. All right. I think we're just gonna like... I don't think these are supposed to be any particular shape. They don't look like they're supposed to be any particular shape, if you ask me. Well, yeah, if we're making fun of the South, then sure, we're gonna probably say guitar, but let's not do that today. I think today we can just be nice to the South. You know, they're having a rough time right now. It's kind of got a bit of a sort of a scaly pattern happening right now, and I'm not sure how that happened, so I'm going to try and deliberately break it. One of your favorite country singers is Canadian. Which one? We have a few. This nail is the one that's taking the least amount of time, I think, because this is like basically done. It's not as squiggly as the original. I'm going to add a little squiggliness to this. It's kind of hard to make it squiggly at this scale, I think, with glitters. But we're gonna just sort of make it a little, make the line width a little less even and a little more wobbly. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, I think that's a little less scaly and a little more wobbly now. That seems more correct. All right. That's it. That's her guitar. We did it. Shania. Weirdly enough, I feel like the southern pronunciation is closer to how it's said in Spanish rather than guitar. That makes sense. It's not really guitar up north, though. It's guitar. Okay, that nail was easy. I do still need to go back and work on the patchwork a little bit. Patchwork needs some, just not every patch, but some of them need to have some patterning in them. So we're just going to go back and do that in a few spots. Hello, Our Lady. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the guitar has individual rhinestones. That makes a lot of sense that it would be that way. But we ain't doing that here. I don't even own rhinestones to do that with. Or individual loose glitters. Or the wherewithal to do that amount of work on my nails. She had some real fantastic guitars, though. So really, I was looking at some of her past guitars, and they're like, a lot of them are really intricate. Just so cool. All right, so that's that one. And then I think we'll do, one of these has a little bit of like a maybe like strawberries or something. Hard to tell. I'm going to put some little dots of green. And then we're going to use some red and do sort of a vaguely berryish kind of thing. It's more like guitar in the South. Yeah. Yeah, saying guitar is definitely a funny bit, but I did date a guy from Houston, which is, I'd say that his accent is the southern accent I am most familiar with. He did not have a typical Houston accent, though. He had like the East Texas. I think his family was from Tyler, Texas. So He lived in Houston for enough of his life that he could sort of mask the accent to some extent, but not the pacing. Man was incapable of talking quickly. You think they're cherries? Yeah, maybe. Actually, I think you're right. At least on that one side. That one definitely looks like cherries. I'm not sure about the other side. Kind of looks like maybe there's two separate patterns. Hard to tell. You don't consider Texas South? That's fair. Although I do imagine it depends on which part of Texas. Yeah, Houston for sure not. That's valid, and I understand why. Okay. What else are we gonna do here? I think we'll do... There's one of these has some, like, cute little sort of squares in it. I think I'll do that on one of them. Dolly said only people with acrylics could play their nails. She must not have met a lacquer lover. I mean, to be fair, the acrylics are a lot stronger. So if you're using your natural nails and they're very long and you are going to try and play your nails, you have a much higher chance of actually breaking a nail than you do if you're wearing well applied acrylics. I would say it is not incorrect to say that only people with acrylics can safely play their nails without significant risk of harm. Okay, some little squares on that one. Maybe we'll do a little... One of them had some kind of like little diagonally bits. Let's just do some little stripies. They don't all have to be exactly like what's in the thing, right? I think that's okay. And I don't think they all need to be patterned either. So I think maybe we'll just do one more with a pattern. Maybe this light green one up here. Do maybe just some darker green. Some darker green shapes in here. I'm realizing I kind of mimicked the same pattern as I did on the lower one, but that's all right. I think that's probably good for that nail. The top just popped off your tumbler. Yeah, Houston do be getting hit by hurricanes. That is very southern of them. Yeah, the super hard finish of toluene would definitely help. You wanted to pick up piano again, but no space for a keyboard and have long nails? Yeah, it's possible, but it's difficult. You gotta really have a modified playing style to manage that. Okay, we still need to do the butterfly on the pinky, which is going to be this one. I'm thinking we don't do the trail. We maybe just do the butterfly itself. And I think I'm going to use gold flake on the yellow part. I'm not sure if I want yellow underneath it, though. I might. So we're going to do red for the outline. We'll start there. I have so many polishes in front of me, y'all. You can't see them all, but I have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 polishes that I pulled for this. I don't know if I've got enough colors to work with. course, like a third of those are toppers. Okay. So this is going to be like kind of here, center. Going to need to make that a little bit wider. And that actually comes up a bit higher. All right. That looks approximately correct for that part. And then doesn't have to be perfect, but I'll try and get a similar shape. I really should have done a top coat on this nail because it's so textured, but that's okay. All right, now the top section is red, so we'll just go ahead and put the red under there. And the second section is purple. I'm just going to block in those colors and then do the yellow over top. I'm singing the Reading Rainbow song now. All right, there's our purple section. And then we do our blue section, which is going to be, actually, I think I want the slightly lighter version rather than pure shady navy, because the shady navy is just a tiny bit, it feels a tiny bit too dark for it on its own. Arachnodactyly sounds like a dinosaur. Maybe it's like a dino spider, a spidersaur. I know what it actually is, but it is funnier to think of it as being a spidersaur. Okay. There's the blue blob. And we'll let that dry a little bit. Before I add the... I think I'm going to have to do the yellow and then the gold over top of the yellow. Did dinos build really geometric webs in one night? They did not. They did not. You've got an excellent point, Sonia, and I think you're right to say it. All right. Back to our rainbow snow. And whichever one of these things is the correct signature. There it is. All right. Hello? Why are you not showing up? Hello? What's happening? Oh my. Oh my. What are you doing here? Oh, that's interesting. That it did a very interesting thing. All right, what if I I don't know. I don't know why it's flipped. Don't know why it's flipped. Interesting. Oh, shit. Sorry. How do I... Can I... Okay. I'm gonna make that a little bigger. And then I'm gonna try this again. That was really weird. Okay, now it's all right this time. I don't know what happened, y'all. That was freaking weird. That was weird. Okay. When Belly phones home, it's in all caps /positive. It's true. Because of her all caps superpower. What? You asked the kids if, after the solar system project study, do you think aliens are out there? Most of them said yes. Your assistant said, of course not. Yeah. Listen. The chances that we are the only life, zero. Effectively zero probability that we are the only life on our planet. That this planet is the only planet that has life. Now, if you want to ask a different question, do you think there are other intelligent species that currently, right now, are as developed as us technologically? That's a very different question, and the probability of us coinciding with them temporally is significantly less than the probability of them existing at some point in time at some level of intelligence. Those are separate questions. So yeah, I don't necessarily believe that there are aliens capable of faster than light travel who are, coming to visit us. I don't think that's true. But do I think there's life on other planets? Yeah. Duh. Duh. Of course. Yeah, we just got done studying how many stars are out there and that the universe is beyond our understanding. Like, come on. Yeah, I don't think that faster than light travel seems like something that would be difficult, if not impossible, to achieve. But that's a very different question. It's completely fucking wild to think that we're the only life. Maybe the only intelligent life right this second, depending on how you want to define intelligence. That's possible. But yeah, I don't know. I think the only way you can think about things like that and the only way you can think that we're the only life in the universe is if you are starting from a place of either religion or ignorance. Yeah, I agree. It's debatable that we're intelligent. Yeah, exactly. The Fermi paradox. Very, very interesting idea to read up about if you have not. But basically talks about this probability shit. Okay. We need to try and get this signature, and this is not going to be easy, y'all. This is not my forte, but we're going to treat it like any other illustration. Okay? This is me trying to hype myself up to believe that I can do this. Okay. Holy shit, that's a big old swoop, Dolly. That is a big old swoop, girl. Why you make such a big swoop? And then we come around. And we go up. And then we get into a whole mess of an O. Love that for her. This, you can tell this is requiring 100% of my brain cells. Go silent. I can't think and try and do Dolly's signature at the same time. Oh my god. Why is cursive like this? My own hair is going up my nose, and I don't love it. That's the spacing is too wide there, but we're just gonna have to live with that. All right. And then we go like this. And she doesn't even do a little loopy there. She literally just comes down and then goes back up in the same direction. What a weirdo. I love it. All right. All right. What do we think? Do you think we can forge her signature and steal her money and, I don't know, donate it to her own foundation? I think I did it. You used to teach cursive? Danelian? What the hell is Danelian? Yeah, Belly is bringing up all the good points here. Consider how we are to ants and whether or how they perceive us, or even microscopic life. Do they perceive us? How much do we perceive them? They're like basically nothing to us except when they're causing us problems. Consider the idea of Planck units. Maybe they exist in a unit where we cannot ever perceive each other. Yeah. It's a thing. Cabbage? You have cabbage? Forging signatures is just drawing. It's true. You learned to forge your mom's signature in 2nd grade. Good job. Good job. It's like, wait, Danelian is like print but with loops and curves? That sounds very confusing. I don't like that. All right, here's what I want to do with this. I want to add some star glitters to this one, but I think I just want to like do glitter placement, just a few of them on this particular nail. Let's see if we can collect a few star glitters here. I don't want very many. I just want like a couple. And let me tell you, I do not have the tools or the skill for glitter placement, but we're going to do our best here. All right, I want one like up here, because that feels like a place where Dolly should have a star. I think I want one below, like down here. And then one up top. Come on. Like maybe over here. I feel like that's a reasonable spot. Oh, that glitter is like gonna drive me crazy. That particular one is like doing a thing where it's curving the wrong direction. Let me see if I can... Oh, it's got two of them. That's why it's being weird. It had two different stars that were like kind of glued together. It's still kind of sticking up funny though. Oh, there's no way I can take that up now. I just have to live with it. I just have to live with it. That's all there is to that one. Okay. That's all right. We got 3 stars. I feel like more would be overdoing it. You got in trouble for adding loops to your letters once because you weren't supposed to learn cursive yet? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, correct it if it's backwards or mirrored or something, but like... You don't have to be an asshole. Like, God forbid a child have a little freaking flourish. Okay. Now, we still need to finish off this little guy here with some yellow, and then we'll do, I think, the gold flake taco over top. Oh. Actually, I think I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of this because this is a little bit more opaque. I love the tone of the vitamin C, but it is slightly more crelly-ish. So I think for this it will work better if we mix it with just a little bit of the whatever banana one that one is. Banana Hacks, maybe? Yeah. All right. I wonder, though, if putting gold flake taco on it will actually make it too messy. I don't know. I'm a little divided, y'all. It is already a very glittery nail. So maybe we don't need... I'm a little concerned that the flake might actually mess it up. $10 p.m. for you. 10:10. 10:10. Oh no, Belly. Yeah, you should not be looking at the time. That's a dangerous thing for you specifically. This is not the Euro-friendly stream. All right. Oh boy. This is stressful. I didn't leave myself a lot of room to make mistakes here, so I am going to have to go in and tweak a little bit with the red. However, mostly all right. We mostly did all right. You're a professional insomniac? Yeah, me too. You gotta catch Mama Cat tomorrow evening to take her to the local TNR event on Saturday. Oh boy. Excitement for Mama Cat. Is she pretty used to you handling her at this point, at least? Because that would make things a lot easier. Hopefully it's not too stressful for her. All right, let's get this division back because we lost that completely. And then there's like a little bit here where I think we need to bring back a bit of that. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see here. I think I'm pretty happy with this. She's very used to you, but you're worried about the stress part of it for her. Yeah, it does have to be done, unfortunately. I know, it's so stressful. We felt awful when Cinna got trapped with her kittens, but like, you know, the alternative is worse. So they deal with some stress, but then things are better and they usually live longer after that. And feeding 9 cats now, my goodness. That's too much. That's too much. Okay. I am going to do a seal glaze, but let me ask you before I wrap this up, should I be adding anything to the background of the book nail? The thing I was thinking about was maybe adding some like of these flowers, possibly. Do a little bit of glitter placement with the flowers. Every other nail I feel is definitely done. You think stars? Stars or flowers for the books? Either one I think could work. I would be willing to do either. But what do y'all think? Stars or flowers? Or nothing? Scattered hollow could do. You were going to say flowers. Stars, tie it back to the thumb. Do I need to make a poll? I'm going to make a poll, y'all. We're going to poll this. All right. We haven't done a poll in a while, so let's do it. Stars. Flowers. Start poll. I don't need a seal glaze on this nail, that's for sure. I'm just going to go ahead and top coat this one because it will be just fine. The silver stamping polish does not have a tendency to smudge. Looks like stars are winning. We do have a bunch of people that have not voted. So I'm going to give it another minute. to decide if anybody else wants to vote, whether you want stars or flowers glitter placement for the background of the books. Do I risk? Oh, so stressful. The white really likes to run, but I'm gonna risk it. I'm just gonna float. Just gonna float so carefully. And then I'm gonna wipe off my brush just to be on the safe side. All right, looks like our lurkers have decided not to vote, mostly. We got a couple. Hello, are you gonna focus? You're not gonna focus. You're not gonna focus. Yeah, you're not gonna focus. There we go. I'm really happy with the thumb, y'all. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pull that off, to be honest. All right, I am closing down the poll. The stars have won. Thank you for your votes. All right, let's get my thing back out here. I wonder if I can loosen this back up and get the stars that I've already plopped out here. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the compliments on the thumbnail. I am very pleased with it. Okay. Move these guys around a little bit. See if we can pick them up at all. All right, we'll go one here. Hello. Of course, now they're like super wet, which makes them harder to pick up. It is easier when they are in a glob of thickened polish rather than in a bunch of liquid. This is like real thick on here. I'm just gonna try and get rid of some of that excess polish without adding a bunch of cat hair. The hell, my dudes? Get the hair off of the brush. That does not help. All right. Oh my God. I made it worse. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, y'all. We don't need to panic. There's no need to panic. If you're in chat and you're panicking, stop it. It's fine. I'm not panicking. I feel like that might be it. You're not panicking? I'm so glad. Use the tweezers? Shut up, Dame. Shut up with your smart ideas and your thinking about stuff. Quit it. Just a little panic as a treat. You have tipware on your red polish hand for Dolly, but it's fine. It's fine. Just say you got it by playing your nails like Dolly, and it is fine. All right, I need to let these dry a little bit. And I do think with this nail, I am going to put a little bit of seal glaze on the white portion of the books. So that when I top coat, I don't get smearing there, because that white likes to smear a little. It's like you're used to working with loose glitters. Yeah, I never do. I never do. You can tell. You appreciate seeing the struggle, to be honest. Glitter placement can be so annoying sometimes. Yeah, it's not, I just don't do it. I never do it. So, like, it is truly a struggle every single time. And, like, you know, every time I do it, I learn something, which I then promptly forget the next time I decide to do glitter placement stuff. You may panic when it comes time to paint the logo, though. Not sure if you should do their names, too. Yeah. Gonna do pink glitter nails with a red accent nail after this. That sounds nice. Add some gemstones. Definitely, if you've got little gems, I would say absolutely do some little gems. That is 100% correct. And I'm not even going to ask if I should mattify these, because obviously I should not mattify these. First of all, hollow. Second of all, please. Also, I've got like, I don't know if that's like a little hair or if it's a stringy, a lacquer stringy that happened, but I'm annoyed because it's right in the middle of the orange patch right there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's like a little hair or something right in the middle there, and I feel like I want to cover it because it is annoying me, which means I'm gonna have to top coat again. But you know, it's gonna irritate the shit out of me if I don't do something about it. Did I do that in pure orange though? I don't know. It looks like it might be pure orange. It might be pure orange. Let's just do it in pure orange. I'm sure it's fine. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's just such a big old black line through the middle of the dang thing. We'll just cover it up. We'll top coat again once that dries, and it will be fine. And no one needs to know my secret shame. The fabric nail could be matte? Yeah, it could. But then it would just be the one matte nail, and that feels a little pointless to me. So I'm just going to keep it all glossy. Should we switch over to the macro lens? And you can see the super close up. Then you can see every mistake that I made really clearly. I know y'all love that. Just trying to mess up my nails, apparently. Get the great big honkin'. Have I showed y'all the great big honkin' lens? It's stupid big. It's stupid big, y'all. And it's still like half the size of the bird watching lenses, or bird watching lenses. Yeah, they are lenses. I don't know why my brain decided that needed to be corrected. It didn't. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Bring that back. There we are. Nice and glittery. I am gonna double top coat everything before I take photos. Like do a second top coat just to make sure everything's reasonably smooth for photos. So I'll wait a little while. You love how comically large camera lenses can get? Yeah. And here is the signature. I'm honestly shocked that I managed to do that as well as I did. It is not perfect, but I am pleased with it. I hope that Dolly would love it. I'm glad that we decided to do this. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do one for Tim on stream, but I will probably end up doing something over the next few days. I have just a ton of swatching to do, and I want to do something for Yayoi as well, because I feel like those both need to be recognized for me personally. I love out of focus hollow. I wish that my cameras took photos of hollow anywhere near as well as my eyeballs can see it. But you know how that is. We're done. I'm tired. And I'm a little hungry now. But we're done. We did it. We made it. We need a cool Tim Manny. Yeah. There's a possibility I could maybe do that on Tuesday. If I haven't done one by Tuesday, maybe we'll do that for the Tuesday afternoon live stream. We'll see. We'll see. Is there anything else? Next Thursday is going to be swatch and review of the new Monarch lacquer collection that's going to be coming out on September 8th. So we will not be doing nail art that night. It is an 8-piece collection, so it's pretty much going to be taken up by just doing the swatches for everything. And then she's kicking us out, y'all. And then the following Tuesday, or the following week after that, I think I may have the whole week clear possibly for nail art. We'll see. But yeah, this Tuesday is going to be a nail art one, so possibly. Is the Monarch one spooky? No. Monarch did not go spooky. Monarch went cozy. It's really lovely. I really like the collection a lot. It's definitely not Halloween-y though. It's very much a cozy autumn rather than a spooky autumn. But really pretty. You have polka dots on your left hand right now, so that's your Yayoi tribute. Excellent. Have you posted them yet, Belly? If you haven't posted them in Discord yet, you should show us. Oh, someone said something about having put a photo of something in Discord. Didn't they? Someone said that. No! Okay, actually, that's fine. What time am I streaming on Tuesday? Tuesdays are always afternoon streams. So on Tuesdays, I do 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that's my Euro-friendly time slot. All right, let me see. Somebody put something. There is, oh my God, there is a basket cat. Please hold. I have to show you a basket cat. Hang on. There's a very important basket cat. Hang on. I'm just gonna embiggen this a little bit. And then I'm gonna embiggen this a little bit. Oh, look at the happy basket cat. So fluffy. I love this kitty. Also, these springs are wildly popular in our house. Timony in particular is a big fan of those. Yes, I did say basket cat. So cute. This is Dame's basket cat. Brianna, that's her name. Kitty. Da baby. You posted your polka dots in the Manny gallery for me? Okay, hang on. Let me... Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's a good tribute, Manny, for her. All right. Okay, that's going to be it, I think. Bum, 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 bum. Is there anything else I need to? Please, if you are in the Discord, and you're curious about the video, the short video that I mentioned earlier that I think everyone needs to watch, that has been posted in the Strim Business channel, thanks to Belly. It is short, and it is absolutely worth watching. And it's literally just a conversation. So it's nothing like super gross or anything, but it is called They're Made Out of Meat. And it's delightful. It's truly delightful and weird. Okay. Oh, that thing's going. Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for being here and hanging out with me and celebrating Dolly with me. And that was really nice to be able to do that. Don't forget to press the buttons if you haven't already done that. And if you want to join the Discord and you haven't already, the link for that is down there. And do please tell all your friends, tell the whole bunch you just ate a hippopotamus for lunch. The name of the short, I think I have already said again since you typed that, but they're made out of meat is what it is called, just in case. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.